Hey everyone, welcome to the beautiful Carnival Jubilee. John from Bite Size Cruises here. Welcome to our channel. If it's your first time here, thanks so much for coming to join us. We'll tell you a little bit about us later. We're going to start here on deck 18 forward on the Serenity deck. This is an adults only area of the ship. And if you go on one of these new Excel class ships, the one thing you're going to take notice is that this Serenity area is not very crowded and it is amazing. They have these beautiful cushioned chairs. There are clamshells up here in the front, which we'll see in a minute. You have all kinds of amenities here as we wander over to the little pool section here at the front of Serenity, at the front of the ship. There's a little buffet area here where they do healthy little salads and things for lunch. There's a bar here. There's a seating area down next to the pool. And it's really quiet. As you can see, we're in the middle of the day here, and it is beautiful out, and it is completely and utterly empty. It is early in the morning, but it's not drastically early in the morning. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. As you can see, it's really empty. The pool here is small, but it is very nice. All in all, this is probably one of my favorite sections of the ship. And again, no kids here and nice and quiet. We're still up here on the Serenity. We're going to take you around to the front of the ship. See all the amazing little cushion chairs there. There are day beds. There are these little cubbies that you can hang out in. All in all, really, really, really pretty area of the ship here. I loved it. So you come all the way out here to the front of the ship. It wraps all the way around, which is really nice. Now we're going to head to the back of deck 18. You're going to see the Bolt roller coaster here. Sadly, on our cruise, this was only working maybe a day and a half due to weather and wind and different things like that. But, you know, things you have to take into account when you go on a cruise. Some of these really cool attractions don't work in the rain and the wind and different things like that. So, although there are cool things, sometimes they aren't very practical. But it was cool. I did watch it on embarkation day. I didn't get a chance to go on the Bolt. I've been on it before, but didn't get a chance here as really wasn't open. There's this awesome little kids splash park here. I wanted to grab this bucket coming down, which looks amazing. And then also at the back of the ship here on deck 18, you have the mini golf course. There's a lot of things to do back here for kids in addition to the roller coaster. So that's a good thing to know. It's a good place to hang out. You can also get to here right from deck 17. As you see those people walking up, you can just pop up the back of the ship here and come right up to the mini golf and to the splash pad and the water slides here. Mini golf, really fun. It's a small little mini golf course, but again, not crowded. Back here on deck 18 doesn't get all that crowded either, which is really nice. And there are a bunch of things to do, which I think helps out a bit as well. We're going to wander around deck 18 here on the side, slide up a little bit. You have these awesome little clamshells here that were never crowded. I never saw people laying in them, which is a great spot here. Hang out in the shade and read or do whatever you want to do. And then I wanted to take you up here and show you the ropes course. The ropes course is really, really cool. I'm going to give you a little tour of that. Same thing here. It wasn't open a whole lot because of the rain and the wind, but there's nothing you can do about that. But it's really, really cool. It wanders around the whole outside of the sports court here, and we'll take you on a quick little tour and show you. There's like a little zip line. You have these little paths that you have to walk over. I really liked that. I thought it was really, really cool. I like that a lot of ships have these fun ropes courses. You can go out over the edge of the ship there. And then, of course, out here on deck 18, you have the sports court. I like that it's a little sheltered, so it's not quite as windy. That's one of my big problems with a lot of the older style of the sports courts. Couldn't really play basketball because it was super windy, but this one was pretty good. Also, a little cornhole here. A lot of people playing pickleball, too, on the sports court. Then you get a little look here at the walking, running track. Then again, just a little bit of the sun deck here on deck 18, where you can see a lot of quiet places to hang out. As we wander around the side here, we see our old friend, the Norwegian Escape, which we've been on several times. Great little, not a little ship, but a great big ship over there. And then we're going to wander around here on deck 17 towards midship. This is the upper pool deck, or the sun deck, so to speak. And from here, you're going to get a pretty good look at the entire kind of pool area. This area is large. It's not as large as you would think it would be for a ship this size with the amount of people, but it does work as a good area for everyone to kind of hang out and assemble. It does make it feel crowded, which I think is kind of the point. During sail away and some of the parties, it gets a little crowded up here, or feels a little crowded, which I don't think it would if it was much bigger. But up here, you have a beautiful view of the pool area. You can hang out up here. There are, again, fun little day beds, all different types of chairs. It was never overly crowded up here at all. On this deck, pool deck really wasn't overly crowded at all, which really surprised me. But great area up here is a view from the other side. We're going to take you here on deck 17 to the Red Frog Tiki Bar, which is on both levels. It's on 16 and 17. So you will see this downstairs as well on the next deck. This bar is packed all the time. This is one of the areas that's very crowded. So if your plan is to go out and hang out at the Red Frog Tiki Bar, better get there early and you hang out there. Obviously, there's only a few bar stools, but it does stay packed all day. And the downstairs one's bigger, and that one is packed as well. I'm going to wander around here to kind of mid-aft of deck 17, and you're going to see one of many of the little ice cream stations here on Carnival Jubilee. Come here and get your ice cream fix on, or frozen ice cream or yogurt, whatever it is. And then we're going to check out Guy's Burger Joint. So Guy's Burger Joint is huge. It does get really crowded when it opens. However, I found that even though the line stretches all the way out here to basically past where I'm at right now, and you'll see how far that is, it moves really quick, less than 10 minutes to get to the front of the line. I mean, there aren't a lot of options. It's pick a burger, pick your toppings, and then you get fries if you want them. So it's not like there's a ton to hold things up, although people will hold things up to try to taste things and all I've seen, but that's, you know, like that everywhere. It was like that at Big Chicken as well. But here is where the actual line starts, and it moves very quickly from here. It's about 5 minutes from here. So there are a few options you have for burgers. I thought the burgers were great. A little review here for you while we're going through the line. I thought the burgers were really good. Probably the best iteration of like the diner style burger on a cruise ship. Better than Johnny Rockets on Royal Caribbean. Better than American Diner on Norwegian. Really good. There are your burger options. And then you just wind around and tell them what you want and grab your burger. Hardworking staff there getting ready. Then we're going to wander quickly down deck 17 here. This is the kids club there, the teens little area. And then you get to the very back of deck 17 here, and you see these great little booths and places to hang out. And then you basically have another really cool sun deck back here. And I think this is one of the reasons why the pool deck was never really super crowded. First of all, you have Serenity up there for adults only. You have this area back here on deck 17, which is beautiful. No pool right here, but tons of places to hang out, and you'll see when we get down to deck 16, there is a pool there, which is an odd place for a pool, but we'll get to that when we get there. Again, this is the very back of the ship on deck 17, tons of outside seating. It's a great place if you want to grab some lunch and then come back here and hang out, maybe eat a burger or just relax. Now we're down here on deck 16, the main pool deck, or the Lido deck, if you are down with the vernacular. And then from here, you're going to see all the different offerings on the pool deck. I don't like that there's a ton of options for food right by the pool, because it does kind of get impossible to get something to eat while there's a party or something going on, but that's not a huge issue. Some of these options here are included in your cruise fare. Some of them are additional. Just be wary of that when you come down here. This lobster shack, the seafood shack, is not included and is extra. Then as you wander over to the other side of the pool deck here, you're going to see the Blue Iguana Cantina. This is included in your cruise fare. There are two lines here There's a taco line on your right and a bowl or burrito line on your left. Moves very quickly for breakfast and lunch and is a great place to grab something quick to eat. Tons of seating out here as well if you get food. Again, this is on the Lido, so you're on the pool deck here, you can grab something to eat. I sat out here and read books a few times. It was really, really, really nice. Then we're going to wander down towards the Red Frog Tiki Bar on deck 16 here. Again, you can see this one is larger for sure. We're going to swing out here so that you can get a good look at it. Much bigger than the one up on deck 17. But also, as you can see here, it's still early and it is getting crowded already. So this does get crowded, especially if there's something going on. There's a party or something going on. This area is swamped. But this is also your entrance into the Lido Marketplace, which is your buffet. There are several entrances, so don't worry about it getting too crowded there. Hand washing stations, completely ignored by everyone. Don't worry about that. Hilarious. I love the seating options here where the food is in the middle of the buffet and you have seating on the outside. I love that. This is one of my favorite parts of the buffet. You never felt squished in or felt in the hustle and bustle of the actual buffet itself. Then we wander here to the very back of the Lido Marketplace and you have the Big Chicken Restaurant. Again, gets super crowded, especially on embarkation day, but it moves really quickly. You can get chicken tenders or sandwiches. There's a few different sandwiches you can pick from. And then you wander out and you grab whatever sauces you like at the sauce bar. And then out here at the back of deck 16, which I think is a very odd choice, there is a little pool area. There's a pool, there's some hot tubs. It's very nice. I think it would be cool if it was on deck 17. Here on deck 16, it seems a little bit odd and out of place because it's right at the end of the buffet. I think like if those chairs and tables from the deck 17 were down here and this was up on deck 17, it would make more sense. I'm sure there's a reason why, but it just seems odd that there's a pool right by the food. Again, it's just weird placement. There's another ice cream machine there, and then you wander through again. So now we're going to drop all the way down to deck 8 here, and we have another infinity pool right off the back of deck 8. This one I think is in a great spot on deck 8 here, and this was never super crowded either. There were people here. But again, I think with so many different pool options, you have the pool on 18, you have the Serenity pool, you have the pool on 16, you have this pool here. You have so many different options to hang out by water. I think all the cruise lines are starting to do a much better job with this on their cruise lines, is giving you more outside space to experience either the ocean or pools or water. Wander around the back of deck 8 here and you're going to see a bunch of hot tubs. Really nice hot tubs. These were crowded all the time. This is very early in the morning. I'm not going to talk through everything. I'm going to let you just watch some things as well and enjoy the music. Then we're going to scoot up deck 8 here. This is going to bring you all the way to midship on deck 8. You can pretty much walk the entire outside of deck 8 here, almost. It's a little blocked off by the Havana Cabanas, but love these little colorful tables here. These are really nice. And then we're going to head back inside. This is outdoor seating basically for all the little areas that are on midship deck 8. Which we're going to see in just a minute. You're going to have a ton of food options on deck 8 where you can eat inside and outside. And we'll go through all those as we wander through deck 8 here. You can see our friend the Norwegian Escape here. I think today we are in Cozumel. Coming here on deck 8, you have the Marina Bar right here. This area was jumping all the time. Very crowded at this bar, but there's a lot going on right here. So good reason for that. First, we're going to take you down and show you the included in your cruise fare options. And that first one is going to be Coastal Slice. Coastal Slice, your Carnival included in your cruise fare pizza option. It was fine. Pizza was just as good as Norwegian or Royal Caribbean. Not as good as Princess or MSC, in my opinion. But it's included pizza, and who doesn't love pizza? Next up here is Beach Buns. It's kind of like your deli on board. I wanted this to be better than it was, but it was fine. You could get sandwiches here. You can get soup here, chips, pretzels, and a little dessert like a brownie. Again, I thought the sandwiches would be much better. They were just okay. And whoever was working here was always just overwhelmed. It was like one person working there all the time, which is a shame. But it was perfectly fine. Next up, we're going to wander over here to Rudy's Sea Grill. We did a separate review on all of the dining options. You can check that out on our channel. Rudy's Sea Grill, beautiful restaurant here with indoor and outdoor seating. And a lot of it. These restaurants are very big. And they were very crowded. I was very surprised so many people were eating at specialty dining restaurants. We're going to wander out a little further down here at Deck 8. And we're going to check out Cucina del Capitano. You could eat here for no cost one time during your cruise. So you can try this out as part of the inaugural season. Beautiful Italian restaurant. Again, huge. These restaurants are huge. They can seat hundreds of people. And they were very crowded. I was shocked. Very, very good restaurant. Then as you come out of Cucina del Capitano, if you swing a left here, which is what we're going to do, you're going to head down towards Midship, and you are going to see Grand Central, obviously, and then you are going to see the kind of photo where you can look at your photos, which is basically called pixels here. I'm also amazed at how many people buy photos on cruises still. They're like 20-some bucks per photo. It's amazing to me that so many people buy these pictures. But you know, it's your vacation. Enjoy yourself, treat yourself, whatever makes you the most happy. But you can look at all your pictures here and check everything out. You can get professional photographs taken there. They have a little studio for you. You could buy like a camera or a GoPro here if you forgot yours or you need a memory card or anything like that. That's always good to know. And then you head out here to Grand Central, which is basically the big gathering point in the center of the ship. There's a beautiful little theater here, which we'll see in just a moment. And there are also some shops here and just some fun places where you can hang out and sit and enjoy time with your friends and family. Got your FE jewelry store here. Then you get a good look at the theater area here. They do a lot of shows here. They do something pretty much every night here. There's a theater as well, which we'll see in a few minutes, but just so you get an idea, they do a bunch of different aerialist shows, production shows, singing and dancing shows. The Mentalist was here. The Hypnotist was here. So lots of different things going on there. The Magician was out here. And then we'll swing back around and check out the sushi restaurant. This is open until midnight every day, which is awesome. And again, a very, very large restaurant. I did the sushi omakase here on I think it was the last night of the cruise. It was $20. well worth it. You got a filet mignon, you got some soup, you got a salad, you got some rolls. It was really worth it for $20. So something to think about if you're going on the cruise and you love sushi, or if you just love to try new food. Next up, we have teppanyaki, which is right next to sushi. There are only 3 tables in here, and it does get very crowded, but it is a blast, and I highly, highly recommend it. I do this on sail away on every cruise. I do some form of teppanyaki, and it's just a ton of fun. It's a great way to kick off your vacation. Then you have this little fun bridge here, which is above the Grand Central Bar, which we'll see as we head down to 7 in just a bit. But this is going to connect you to the other side of the ship here, and we are going to wander towards the Havana Bar, which leads you into the Havana Cabana rooms, which are really cool and private access. The bar, however, is open to the public. It's a really fun bar. It reminds me a lot of Boleros, if you've ever been on Royal Caribbean. Just that fun Latin music going on all the time. They did karaoke in here as well a few times. Great vibe in here, great drinks, great bands. Here we have Chibang. I apologize, Chibang's going to be a very short little entrance in here. I thought I had recorded more, or I did, and something happened with the footage. But on this pass, we're just going to get a little peek in here. Again, Chibang is included in your cruise fare once. You can go there one time during your sailing. It's really fun there. I love it. It was a really interesting meal. Here's Carnival Adventures. This is where you can book your shore excursions if you're interested in going on one. And then we're going to wander down towards the back of the ship here on deck 8, and you're going to see guest services here. Interesting spot for guest services, usually in the middle of the ship, here at the very back almost. I think it tricks people so it's not crowded all the time. Then we're going to head into Guy's Pig and Anchor. It's a summer landing, which is basically the back of your ship here. There's a few little destinations back here, which we will take a look at. I like that Carnival is using the zones concept, kind of what Royal Caribbean does as well. So as you head back in here into Summer Landing, you're going to get the Carnival shop here, which was really crowded, especially because very early on in the inaugural season for Jubilee here. So a lot of people buying a lot of the swag, which I did as well. Then over here to the right, you have Guy's Pig and Anchor. There's a brewery in here as well. You can do brewery tours during your cruise, which is very fun. They have great beers here for you to try. The bar is huge. It does get a little bit busy if there's a sporting event on. We had 2 NFL playoff games going on here. And leaving out of Texas, the Cowboys were on and the Houston Texans were on. And both of those were very, very crowded. This is big. They have a buffet in here for breakfast, just a normal breakfast buffet, and then you have lunch and dinner in here with barbecue. All meals really good in here. Great spot on the ship to hang out and enjoy yourself. I love this area of the ship. I eat breakfast here almost every day. As you can wind around, you can see where the buffet is set up in the morning over there on your right. Plenty of space to sit here and eat. It was never busy or crowded in the mornings for breakfast, which is really nice. Gives you a different option instead of the main dining room or walking up to the buffet. Again, nothing was super crowded here, which I really love. They did a great job of kind of leveling out the traffic around the ship. And then as you come up here to the front, this is where some bands played in the evening. It was really fun. Some country music out back here. And just some great barbecue. Over here you have the Heroes Tribute Lounge for all of our service members. This is open all the time. There's a little ice cream station here as well. This is where they show all the sporting events, and this is where everybody kind of hangs out for those. Really awesome area. Love that they dedicate this to veterans, and there's a bunch of material in here from all the different armed forces, which is very nice. Giant screens in here, hence why people hang out for the games. Just a fun kind of backyard feel to this area. I love it. This takes you out to that patio area where the infinity pools and stuff are. So this is the kind of coming full circle here on deck 8. And then back there you have some foosball and you have your little shuffleboard there. So now we're going to drop down to deck 7. And we're going to start right at the alchemy bar. So towards the back here, the back half of the ship. Just cool art, cool area here on deck 7. This spot was very crowded. The Alchemy Bar and Dr. Inks both get very crowded, which we'll see in a few minutes. And then as you head over here, we're going to see one of the comedy clubs. There are 2, which is the Limelight Lounge. Head in there for a quick little peek. The smaller of the 2 comedy clubs. They do a lot of different things in here as well, like some arts and crafts and trivia and things too. Head back out and we're going to actually walk past the Alchemy Bar. Great drinks in the Alchemy Bar. They have all different kinds of fun things going on here. The bartenders are amazing. The crowd is great. Everybody's trying to get one of the cool drinks. Love this area. This was one of the highlights of the cruise. If you do enjoy a cocktail, this is a really fun spot to hang out. We're going to continue to head back here through the upper currents area. This is the current zone. See down there on deck 6, they have all the cool little aquarium looking area. It's awesome. And now we're going to wind down towards one of the main dining rooms, which is the Pacific dining room, and the art gallery and Fahrenheit 555, which is the resident steakhouse on board Carnival Jubilee. Again, just these really nice little loungy art areas. Not what I expected at all. I haven't been on Carnival in a while. So just really, really beautiful. We're going to spin around here and we'll check out Fahrenheit 555. Great steakhouse, had an amazing meal here. My only complaint about any of the food, especially the specialty dining, was the bread. No real good bread except for at Rudy's Sea Grill. All the other bread was just meh. But the food was all great. My steaks were great. Small price to pay. I'll take it. I'd rather my apps, entrees, and desserts be great. I can do without. But who doesn't love bread, right? Come on. Again, really, really big restaurant. It goes all the way back there and spans around. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Just giving you a little taste here so that this tour doesn't take 7 hours. But here's just a quick look at some of the dining room, and it is really beautiful. A little more lit up than your normal steakhouse, and I actually like it. It was a really nice environment. Great food, great service. We're going to head out of here. We're going to head towards the back and show you a little bit of the Pacific dining room. One really cool thing about this is now you can use the app to check in at the dining room. You don't have to walk down and wait in line. You just check it on the app. It'll ping you when your table's ready. You walk down and just show the maitre d' your table number. It pops up on your app and they will walk you right to your table. Much easier. No waiting in line anymore for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can just wander around the ship, and then you have 10 minutes to get back. Here on Deck 7, let's check out some of the shops. Some of these are really interesting. I know I talked to a few people that never even saw these shops. If you don't cut through the casino at some point, you probably won't even know that these shops are here. So if you kind of avoid the casino, you may wind up not seeing any of these shops, which may be fine for whoever you are. Again, bring you back to the midship here where Grand Central is, and this beautiful, cool hanging out area. And then we are going to wander into the casino. I think this is the largest casino I've ever seen on a cruise ship. I know the Oasis class ships have a big casino. I think this is bigger. It's almost like, I would say it's like 40 to 50% of the Deck 7. It's massive. Even just like the tables, it's more tables than I've ever seen on any cruise ship. It's amazing. And it was packed in here at all times. As you can see, it just keeps going and going and going. Huge bar in here. It's the biggest bar I've ever seen in a cruise casino. There are hosts walking around all the time. It is a massive, massive space. I will say, though, Carnival does a great job with their casino guests. Better than most cruise lines. Royal Caribbean's pretty good as well. MSC and Norwegian as like the primary like big four cruise lines. They don't do as much for casino guests, but Carnival sure does. We'll wander out. We're going to head right to that little Grand Central bar area, which is a really nice area here on the ship. The Grand View Bar. Pretty cool. It's a small bar and it looks huge because there's all mirrors and all behind it, so it looks very sprawling if you're up on another deck or if you're looking from far away. It's actually a tiny little bar. We're going to take you inside the Jubilee Theater real quick. Just a quick pan here as it's set up for dear future husband. So you can get an idea, the theater is very small. Holds maybe about 1,000, a little more than 1,000 people on a ship with 6,000 people. Doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but I get there's a lot of things going on. Drop down here to Deck 6. You have the Jubilee coin there. A nice little Jubilee plaque. And then we're going to head inside Punchliners, which is the larger of the comedy clubs. Very big comedy club and packed for every single show. Saw some really great comedy shows on Carnival, which was another shocking thing to me. Most cruise lines do not do a great job with the comedians. All the comedians were really funny. Thought they were great. Really enjoyed it. Couple more things left on our tour here. We're going to check out the piano bar. It is very small and gets very crowded, so if you're interested in checking out the piano bar, come early and grab a seat because it fills up quickly. A lot of fun. Ben was the piano guy. He was hilarious. Had a good time in here one night. And we're going to wander out for the rest of Deck 6. We're going to look at the Golden Mermaid Bar. This is tucked away a little bit, but a really nice spot, really beautiful bar, and they had live music in here almost every night, and it was really, really nice. Great vibes in here. We have our little ship model here. Big ship model. I'm going to quickly show you a little bit of the other main dining room, which is the Atlantic restaurant. So we have the Atlantic and the Pacific. Pacific is larger. This Atlantic one is a little bit smaller, but still a really nice size main dining room. I didn't eat any meals in here. My dining room is the Pacific. And this is going to connect us to the rest of Deck 6 here. We're going to check out Dr. Inks next and some shops. We got some shops here right along Deck 6 before we get to Dr. Inks. Really cool little art installation. You see we have, there are a few shops here. I'm not going to show you all of them. But you get the idea. There's like a fashion shop, all the little shops, perfume, all of those things that are pretty standard. We're going to wander back here to Dr. Inks, which is going to be on your left. A really cool bar. There's plenty of seating on your right as well. They had great drinks down here too. They have a bubble drink that has smoke in it, which is really fun. They were lasering Carnival Jubilee on top of some of the drinks here, which was also very fun. Hustle and bustle down here. They had live music here as well on the right-hand side. And then we're going to wind up towards Emerald's 717 Bistro. It is not included in your cruise fare, but it is very reasonable. Breakfast items are $6. Lunch and dinner, you can get fun New Orleans style food. It wasn't overly expensive. Everything was like 10 or, somewhere between $8 and $15 for entrees and appetizers. And they have beignets there as well that were delicious. There's also a raw bar, which can get very expensive, but if you like that, pretty cool option on a cruise ship. Plenty of seating here as well. This is the current zone down on Deck 6, which was beautiful. That is going to wrap up our tour. We have one last thing here on the right, which we're going to show you, which is the Carnival Kitchen, where you can take cooking classes, which was really fun. The only thing I didn't show you was the dead center of Deck 6, where the Java Blue Cafe is, the coffee shop. I don't know why I missed that, but I did, so I apologize. But thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel. If you made it this far, God bless you. We hope you enjoyed the tour. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and we'll be happy to answer them. This is a beautiful cruise ship, and we hope you go on it and you have an amazing time. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye.